It's business time now here on Live from Paris with Stephen Carroll. Hi there, Stephen.
Hello, Catherine.
We're going to start with a big news story from here in France. This is about the nuclear giant Areva.
Yeah, that's right. We'd been warned that the company was in trouble. We now know by how much. Its net losses in 2014 were more than 4.8 billion euros. That includes another hit of 720 million euros on the project to build a next-generation nuclear reactor in Finland. Just the latest problems that they've experienced with that project, which has been delayed, and costs have risen exponentially since it was first planned. Areva announced a fresh cost-cutting programme worth €1 million between now and 2017. It's not quite clear yet what impact that will have on jobs. Areva employs more than 200,000 people. The company's Director General says that he's not ruling out job losses, but the French employment minister, speaking on radio this morning, seems to think there won't be any cuts to jobs, so we'll have to wait and see what evolves there. The French state, of course, owns more than 85% of Areva, and in a statement, ministers said that they're studying the restructuring plan for what details they'll contain.
OK, let's talk about another plan that's in the government's pipeline. So we're talking about a new income top-up plan for lower-paid workers.
That's right. It's part of measures designed to support those earning the minimum wage. It's replacing a system which had been deemed ineffective, apparently without costing the state any more money. In particular, the new top-up will for the first time benefit younger workers. Naomi Lloyd explains.
Ludivine Gouadon works part-time in a call centre in France, earning €750 a month. She says the new income top-up will make a big difference.
It will allow me to be able to go out, to buy things that I couldn't afford before. I'm thinking of buying a car, and it will allow me to do other things as well.
The French government hopes the top-up will get the unemployed back into work and encourage people on low incomes to stay in work. As of January 2016, all workers earning less than €1,400 a month will be eligible. The amount of the income top-up will depend on a person's income and their family situation. For example, a single person working full-time on the minimum wage will get an extra €130 a month, and a single mother with one child working full-time would get an extra €280 per month. The Prime Minister says the benefit has two aims.
This will be both a benefit and an incentive, a benefit which encourages and accompanies a return to work.
It replaces two current benefits accused of being inefficient and not helping those who need it most. One big difference to the old system: young people between 18 and 25 will now be eligible. The cost is estimated at around €4 billion, similar to the old system. But the government claims it will be more efficient, and for every €500 received before, it will now be 578.
Right, we're going to look across to India next. Stephen, the central bank has surprised the markets with a rate cut.
Yeah, that's right. It's the second rate cut, in fact, we've had in India this year. The Reserve Bank cutting the rate at which it loans money to commercial banks by 0.25%. The bank trying to maintain inflation. That's after oil prices falling. It was 5.1% in January, and that's well below the government's upper limit of 8%.
So the markets were surprised. How have they reacted?
It was a good surprise, apparently, because we saw the Mumbai Sensex rise in trading on today. We put a mixed picture, though, on the rest of the Asian markets. As you can see, the Mumbai Sensex up 0.8%, but we're down in Tokyo and in Hong Kong. Here in Europe, trading just getting underway. In Paris, shares in Areva that we were just talking about actually up by 0.5%. Investors had been expecting even worse results from the company, even though they were already pretty bad. And one result for you from London as well, the Baker Greggs. Their shares are up 3% after they reported a 40% rise in profit in 2014. Let's move on for now, though, with a look at some of the day's other business stories. And the UK government is to sell its stake in the cross-channel train service Eurostar for just over €1 billion. The 40% share is being bought by an institutional fund manager from Quebec and the British asset management firm Hermes. Eurostar will also buy out the government's preference shares. The French and Belgian governments, though, will keep their majority stake in the company. And train passengers in France are facing disruption next week. The biggest union at the national train company, the SNCF, has called a strike starting on Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. The action is over a restructuring of the French rail network announced last year. OK, finally now, Star Trek fans, that could be you. In Canada,
And they've been told to stop drawing on their banknotes. What on earth is this all about?
Well, this is because of a trend known as Spocking, following the death of the actor Leonard Nimoy, of course played Spock in the iconic series. Fans found that the former Canadian Prime Minister, Wilfrid Laurier, who's featured on the $5 note...
That's very good.
...bore a resemblance to the actor when you add a few details, as seen here. This is one of the images that was tweeted by Design Canada, just one of the examples of what was being circulated on social media. The Central Bank in Canada did respond to this. They said it's not illegal to draw on your banknotes, but it is inappropriate because the banknote is a symbol of national pride and one shouldn't be messing with it. And this is, of course, the response from William Shatner, who played Captain Kirk. He said, "Go forth," in response to the Spocking.
Go forth and Spock. It's naughty, but it's not illegal. Thank you very much. Stephen Carroll.